Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today we are talking about the Korngold Violin Concerto. Oh my goodness, what a luscious piece of cheesy schmaltz this thing is. It's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, and full of incredibly decadent film music tunes, particularly in the first movement, the theme from Another Dawn. Another Dawn. I mean, that was like, oy, what a cheesy film it was, but the tune, da 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 da. Ooh, amazing, isn't it? And then the finale is The Prince and the Pauper. Da 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 da. It's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful melodic music. And Korngold decided to arrange it in the form of a violin concerto for none other than Jascha Heifetz. The Jascha Heifetz, which means that it is full of dazzling violinitude. And quite frankly, I am not usually a fan of violinitude. I think that double stops sound like you're torturing a cat, and all that busy passage work is just empty cotton candy fluff. But for some reason, I mean, that's why I never liked the finale of Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto, because it doesn't have notes. It's da 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 ba 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 ba, scratch, 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 But this piece, because the music itself is so sentimental and so hard on sleeve and it's so shamelessly what it is. You know what I mean? So it actually works. It really doesn't bother me that this violin is out in front, like noodling like crazy for half an hour or something. Oh my gosh, I love every minute of it. I really do. And the first movement, usually for these moderato tempo first movement concerto things are dire because they always bog down. But here it doesn't, because the violin has got so much to do. It has to happen at a moderate tempo because the violin's going like gangbusters the whole time. So it's an extraordinary work, a terribly underrated work, especially when it came out, because people considered it in bad taste and the style was tacky and it's all of those things. But it's unapologetic. And when something is honest as this piece is, as shamelessly melodic, as beautifully scored, and as screamingly virtuosic, and it makes no bones about it whatsoever, well, then it just becomes a question of your own personal taste. Either you take it on its own terms, or you're going to hate it, and that's the end of it. And I take it on its own terms. I think it's marvelous. Now, Heifetz recorded the work. He did. And unfortunately, his recording, which is amazing from a violinistic point of view, is not amazing in all other respects, because the orchestra and the sonics are dated. And this is a piece that needs absolutely, it's got to be performed with a highlighter. It's got to glow. It's got to be illuminated from within. That's what you really, really need in this work. And so the best recordings, or the greatest recordings ever of the Korngold, are going to be modern recordings. I mean, it just has to have that sort of beautiful, sensual frame for the violin. And especially, and also in the finale too, when the big tune comes in the Star Wars variation with the horns whooping, da 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 da, the glockenspiel comes in, da 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 da. It's got to sound like the greatest film score ever written, and you've got to have real impact. So with all due respect to Jascha Heifetz, whose playing is incomparable, it's comparable, and there are others who have done extremely well. And so the greatest recording ever of the Korngold Concerto is this one. Gil Shaham with André Previn and the London Symphony Orchestra. It also has the Much Ado About Nothing suite with Gil Shaham violin and André Previn piano, which is a considerable bonus. And even more considerable of a bonus is the Barber Violin Concerto, one of the best performances ever of that. I mean, an extraordinarily fine disc, one of the best things Shaham ever did for Deutsche Grammophon. And Previn is a an old hand at this piece. He first conducted it with Yitzhak Perlman, and then he did it with, I think he did this one next, or if he didn't do this one next, he did it with his then wife, Anna Sophie Mutter, which is also a good performance. But this one has the most color, the most impact. It's the tautest, the most exciting, and it has the best coupling. The absolutely smashing recording of The Barber and the Much Ado About Nothing Suite. So you're in a really, really good shape for the whole shebangy. And Shaham is absolutely brilliant in the concerto. He knows how to keep it moving. He knows how to give shape, for example, to the first movement cadenza thing, to all those passages where the violin is just, leaping and wailing and schlepping and schlomping and flying and buzzing and hacking and chomping. And, he actually makes music out of them. They don't sound as if he's just, desperately buzzsawing his way through the work. So that gives the whole thing a whole nother level of musical interest, because you actually want to follow what he's doing instead of just putting up with it. It's a great, great record. Certainly one of the greatest recordings ever. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.